Welcome back to the saga that's more gripping than a lion's jaws on a moonlit night. When we last left our fearless, or perhaps fear-insulated, Lieutenant Colonel Patterson, he was about as popular in Tsavo as a pitchfork in a pillow fight, thanks to our main, pun intended, antagonists, the Ghost and the Darkness. If you thought the previous installment was a full horror show, well, strap in, folks. It's about to get as hairy as a lion's chin. Now, let's march back into the bush, where the grass whispers and death wears a mane. It's December the 9th, 1898. Patterson, armed with nothing but his wits and a rifle, decides it's high time to end this feline fiasco. He's tipped off by a Swahili runner whose sprint could give Usain Bolt a run for his money. Simba, Simba! Which to us means a cuddly cartoon cub, but to them meant 300 pounds of feline fatality. Patterson grabs his trusty rifle, a gift from Farquhar, and sets off with dreams of lion rugs dancing in his head. As luck, or in Patterson's case, consistent lack thereof would have it, just as he's about to pull a sneaky on the feasting lion, his guide steps on the only branch in the entire savannah that could have made noise, ruining a perfect shot. Seriously, he could have stepped anywhere else. The lion, disturbed mid-snack, gives them a look that could curdle milk and vanishes faster than a plate of cookies at a children's party. Not one to be easily discouraged, or perhaps just a glutton for punishment, Patterson sets up what could only be described as the world's least convincing ambush. Imagine, if you will, a stage. It's night, and our dear Colonel is perched atop a contraption that's one part treehouse, one part death trap, waiting for his whiskered foe with the patience of a saint and the anxiety of a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Then, like a scene straight out of a slapstick comedy, when the lion finally appears, Patterson's rifle decides it's a good time to just say, nah. Click. No boom. The lion, probably offended by such incompetence, decides not to attack, but to retreat with what dignity it had left. Patterson, left with his heart pounding faster than the footsteps of a fleeing ferret, vows revenge. Fast forward to a new plan. Patterson, now slightly wiser and significantly more desperate, builds a high-rise hideout near a donkey carcass, hoping to lure the lion into an Instagram-worthy photo op, followed by a bullet. As darkness envelops the savannah, the stage is set for a night of terror, complete with an owl mistakenly identifying Patterson's head as a perch, because what's a life-threatening vigil without a bird landing on your noggin? The lion, true to form, creeps closer, not to the donkey, but to our tree-bound colonel. It's around this time Patterson probably questions his life choices, as the lion begins to stalk him instead. Hours tick by, with Patterson as still as a statue, likely contemplating whether his next career could involve less wildlife. Just when it seems the night can't get any more tense, Patterson, with nerves of steel and the desperation of a man who really doesn't want to become cat food, spots his chance. The lion, perhaps a tad overconfident, steps into the open. Patterson takes aim. His rifle cooperates this time and fires. The night explodes with the sound of gunfire and lion roars. When the dust settles, the man-eater lies defeated. The camp erupts into cheers, loud enough to wake the ancestors. Patterson, from zero to hero, is hoisted up as the man who punched death in the face and lived to tell the tale. They parade him around like he's just won the World Cup and not just narrowly avoided becoming dinner. With both man-eaters now out of the picture, Tsavo can finally breathe easy. The workers who had scattered like leaves in the wind return, and the railway's construction chugs along once more. Patterson is left with not just trophies, but tales that would make even the most seasoned adventurer raise an eyebrow. In the aftermath, Patterson's story becomes the stuff of legend. Not only does he gain the respect and adulation of his crew, but his adventures inject a note of caution into the tales told around campfires in Tsavo. His tactics and trials teach future generations about the cunning and resilience required to face nature's rawest challenges. The railway itself stands as a monument, not just to human engineering, but to the indomitable spirit that refused to yield to the wild. As we wrap up this thrilling, chilling chapter of When Animals Attack Colonial Edition, remember, the Tsavo man-eaters were not just villains in a horror story, but stars of a tale that intertwines the raw power of nature with human ambition and resilience. But that's not the absolute end of it. There's still a few hidden gems and lesser-known tidbits about this legendary figure and his brush with the infamous Man-Eaters of Tsavo. Did you know that Partisan wasn't just a lion tamer extraordinaire? Oh no, he was a man of many hats. In addition to his valiant efforts against the marauding Tsavo duo, Partisan also commanded the Jewish Legion during World War I, quite the pivot from battling lions to leading a historic fighting force. Talk about versatility. Also, let's tackle the million-dollar question. Why did these majestic beasts turn to man-eating? Was it a case of poor dietary choices or a mere twist of fate? Some speculate that the lions, having stumbled upon a smorgasbord of unburied human remains, courtesy of the nearby slave trade route, simply couldn't resist the temptation of an all-you-can-eat human buffet. Others point to dental woes, a rogue abscess here, a troublesome tooth there, as the catalyst for their culinary cravings. Whatever the reason, one thing's for sure, these lions weren't your average carnivores. Weapons. Let's talk about weapons. There were teeth, there were claws, and in response there was Partisan's arsenal, which by all accounts could have taken out the ghost, the darkness, and a zombie apocalypse. But seriously, allow me to indulge my inner rifle nerd here and dive into speculation about the weapon Partisan might have used to take down those notorious man-eaters. Now it's important to note that while there's no definitive proof, historical sleuths like us can't help but speculate. This rifle likely wasn't just any ordinary firearm. It was a BSA Lee Speed, a masterpiece of British engineering designed for hunters who wanted top-notch performance without breaking the bank. Based on James Paris Lee's innovative rear-locking bolt system, the Lee Speed was the envy of every hunter in the British Empire. Now, let's talk ammunition. Partisan wasn't messing around when it came to firepower. He carried a veritable arsenal of bullets, each carefully selected for its ability to stop a charging lion dead in its tracks. Picture him, pockets bulging with 450 and 303 cartridges, ready to unleash hell on anything that dared to cross his path. A colonial Rambo with a more understated dress sense. And let's not forget the shotguns. Sometimes brute force was the only answer. That's why Partisan always kept a trusty 12-bore shotgun by his side. Now, Partisan himself shed some light on his preferred arsenal in his book. He wrote, "The battery, to be sufficient for all needs, should consist of a 450 Express, a 303 sporting rifle, and a 12-bore shotgun. And I should consider 250 rounds of 450, 50 hard and 200 soft, 300 rounds of 303, 100 hard, 200 soft, and 500 12-bore shot cartridges of, say, the 6 and 8 sizes, sufficient for a 3-month trip. Leather bandoliers to carry 50 each of these different cartridges would also prove very useful." So while we can't say for sure which rifle Partisan used, the BSA Lee Speed Sporter certainly fits the bill. It was a match made in hunting heaven, and it paved the way for one of the most epic showdowns in African history. To stay up to date with more captivating stories from history and beyond, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Join us as we unravel the mysteries of the past and forgotten tales of adventure.